Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Wait a minute, y'all. Now, listen, y'all know I always talk about the Negro League fighters, and we define them as fighters that we know is awesome but don't get the right props. Fighters who we know are being done, injusticely. That's not even a word. Injusticely is not really a word, but everything that's happens to them is unjust. And you're a Negro League fighter when people don't give a damn what happens to you. And it's like you're also in a different league because other fighters can act differently and not do what you have to do, and they can still get ahead in the fight game. And it's just not fair, period. It happens to people of color. Anybody here knows it ain't just people of color. Injustice is injustice. So I don't give a damn, right? And that's just the way it is. So let me start with one of the chairmen of the Negro Leagues, and I'm go down the line. Negro League fighters. Matter of fact, let me just tell you the ones that I've been saying over the years. Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, chairman, Negro League in the heavyweight division. Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, Negro League fighter, also a chairman. He's sitting next to him. And then to a lesser extent, I always say, but also one, is Michael Hunter in the heavyweight division. And then I always say cruiserweight and light heavyweight, hey, that's Eastern Europeans that handle their business there, and gets a bum rap like they're not that good and stuff. Like I would hear about the WBSS tournament for the cruiserweight division when Alexander Usyk won that tournament. And when I hear people say that that was an easy tournament, and that's and from knowledgeable people. But what knowledge means is if you're going to call yourself knowledgeable, then you need to know pretty much the whole landscape and not just the American landscape. Because to say that tournament, WBSS tournament, when Alexander Usyk won, is weak, means to me that you're not really being fair here, or you just don't know what the hell is going on, because that was far from weak, right? All those people, first of all, Alexander Usyk was in there. Marius Brightus was in there, right? Mariat Gossip was in there. Dorticus was in there, right? Marco Huck was in there, right? And this dude named Vlodacek was in there. He was like 54-3. And you had a guy, just forget his name, a guy who was 28-1 with 28 knockouts. That tournament was full of the very best fighters, and it was exemplary because the other tournaments don't. People don't show up. The same time, they had a tournament in the junior middleweight, junior welterweight division, 140 pounds. Jose Ramirez just didn't get in the tournament. Just didn't. Best ones there was your boy Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor. But Ramirez just said, I ain't going to go, and still was able to be called a champion. Morris Hooker didn't go either. So that's how that works. So, yeah, the cruiserweight division and the light heavyweight divisions handle their business. But you go down to the middleweights, Demetrius Andrade sitting right next to Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz and Deontay Wilder, right between them. Chairman. Matter of fact, sitting above him. It's been going on damn near longer with him, Demetrius Andrade. And I would say to a lesser extent, but they are Negro League fighters, and those are the Charlo brothers. This I've been saying for years. So right now, you might say, oh, it's a little bit different. But, I'll explain. But those. And then I would go down to welterweight. And what would I say? Terrence Crawford, Negro League fighter, right? But I would say no, your boy Spence isn't, because Spence gets the credit he deserves throughout the years, right? Then after that, you would go down to maybe lightweight, and Devin Haney is a Negro League fighter for sure. Shakur Stevenson, because I've been saying this for years, I was saying he's going to be one. Now he is one. And then going down a couple of divisions is Guillermo Rigondeaux. Those are Negro League fighters. Every one of them fighters I mentioned is awesome as hell. Awesome as hell. Probably the best or one of the best in their division. Probably the best or one of the best in their division. And also recognized amongst other boxers and people that are really into boxing. The ones who are in the gym boxing and understand what a good boxer is. They're all recognized and appreciated, right? But you can do whatever you want to. So let's go back up to heavyweight. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, unfortunately, I told y'all he's not going to be fighting Anthony Joshua. Well, we've been saying that 6 to 8 months. They were talking about a fight that's going to happen in December between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder in Saudi Arabia on the undercard from Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. And I told you them fights ain't happening because Tyson Fury ain't going to fight Usyk, and Anthony Joshua ain't fighting Deontay Wilder. Now, through all this stuff, Anthony Joshua had a fight, an interim fight. Now they want another fight in December instead of just getting with Deontay Wilder in December. It's not going to happen. And the reasons why is Anthony Joshua's chinny and Deontay Wilder hits the hardest in the history. They're just simple. Mathematics, damn near. Right? That's why that's not happening. And I've told you guys in other videos, Anthony Joshua has never said anything negative about Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua has never been to a Deontay Wilder fight calling him out. He don't want Deontay Wilder to come to his fight. So he just don't want it. Right? This is what it is. So that fight's not happening. Deontay Wilder's career is in limbo right now because we don't know who he's going to fight because Alexander Usyk is busy. So that's who he wanted to fight and whatever. So Anthony Joshua's supposed to be trying to fight Felix Herkovich for the IBF vacant title after Usyk and Tyson Fury fight. But I'm telling you that probably won't happen either. Herkovich, Anthony Joshua ain't going to be in a rush to fight Herkovich. But we'll see because it's before a title. Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, damn near retired. Right? Ain't nobody in a rush to fight him. Even now at 45 years old, ain't nobody really wanted to fight him. His last fight was a pretty good fight with Andy Ruiz. That was a damn near even fight. After a while, Ruiz had him down a few times. But Ortiz looked decent in that fight. You can see his age is coming. But he was there the whole time. And has any top heavyweight fought him other than Deontay Wilder? And now later, Andy Ruiz? Where's everybody else? Tyson Fury said, high risk, low reward. Anthony Joshua ignored him on several occasions. Dillian White, even though it was mandated to fight him, he just fought other people and then still went and talked about he's the mandatory. They told you to fight him. You start fighting Lucas Brown and everybody else. Right? Instead of fighting what they told you. If you would have fought him, you would have had a chance at Deontay Wilder. No, I just fight who I say, and then I'll still call Deontay Wilder out. Because in England, they're going to let him get away with it. Right? Because England, they kind of despise Deontay Wilder when it comes to Anthony Joshua fans because he's dangerous for him. So there's a point. So Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. Michael Hunter, who I said to a lesser extent, but it's still an extent. Michael Hunter, the only real loss was to the legend, Alexander Usyk, a few years back when they were still cruiserweights. Goes up to heavyweight, handles his business. He has a win over Martin Bakole, who Martin Bakole right now is considered one of the baddest heavyweights who people are trying to avoid right now. Little old Michael Hunter beat him. Stopped him late, by the way. Then went on. Before he beat Bakole, he beat some other people too. He beat big old Alexander Ustinov, 300-pound Ustinov, 6'7". He beat him too. He beat another dude, Maldonado. He beat, and he beat another undefeated Russian. I forget his name right now. Right? He's been doing pretty good in the heavyweight division. And then he's losing his motivation because he just can't get no fights. So he fights Alexander Povetkin, beats Alexander Povetkin, and gets a draw. Beats him, right? Alexander Povetkin lost those early rounds by far, was coming on late, but not enough to get a draw. But he got a draw. So, and what happens? Povetkin gets the bigger fights. I think after that, Povetkin got Anthony Joshua or something, right? Not Michael Hunter. Right? So Michael Hunter is sparring everybody, and everybody knows how good and skilled he is. So you see, people need fights. No one's calling Michael Hunter. Negro League fighter. We ain't got to call him. We ain't. Boom. Demetrius Andrade, we don't have to talk about. We go way down there. We really don't have to talk about because I talk about him every damn day, almost. One of the baddest dudes in all of boxing, and we all know it, but he happens to be in Canelo's division. I was the champion. Canelo wasn't. He was my mandatory, didn't fight me. Was able to go somewhere else. I was the key for him to become undisputed in the middleweight division for a whole lot of money, the most in Canelo's career. Didn't have to fight me. The whole media ignored it. They keep wanting me to fight people for $100,000 instead of me. I'm a two-time champion. I'm still undefeated in the same era and the same divisions as Canelo. But Canelo's considered one of the best ever, or something like crazy like that. And he doesn't never have to fight me. But we're supposed to call him the best ever. Get the hell out of here. Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo is middleweight champion. Does all what he's got to do. Middleweight champion and everything. And what happens, right? He can't get a Canelo fight. Just can't get a Canelo fight no matter what he does, right? He had 3 interim fights when he moved up. Because first of all, he was a 154-pound champion. Moves up, 3 interim fights, and they allow Canelo to not fight him. And that's when the franchise title comes into play, right? They just made it up, the franchise title. And that's why Jamal Charlo, to me, no matter how depressed he is right now, no matter what he's going through, he's going to always be remembered as the guy who made them think of a new damn belt called the franchise title, which nobody's talking about anymore. It was just so Canelo did not have to fight him and was allowed to go up to the super middleweight division. And then they not only made the franchise title the WBC, then they give him the 168-pound title. So I don't have to fight Charlo, and I go to the next division, don't have to fight Benavidez either. And then they give me a belt. And that's fair. That's what people want. Despicable, guys, whether you like it or not. These are facts. So that's Jamal Charlo. So yeah, he's depressed. I did a video about it. Yeah, I would be depressed too if I did all that work, had 3 interim fights. I forgot to name them. Korobov, Highland, and another guy, right? You know, just we ain't gonna, now, well, he had 3 interim fights. Well, now, shoot, got to figure something out because Canelo ain't gonna have to fight him. Hey, then Jamal Charlo. You know, Jamal Charlo said, well, whatever. So y'all give him the franchise title? Can I fight him for that? Because it's about me beating Canelo for legacy. No, you can't fight him. We're just going to say he's better than you, and you take the real belt that's been there for years, and we're going to call that a piece of crap, and we're going to, this new belt that we made up, oh, by the way, we don't have a title for it. We don't know what we're going to say when somebody interviews us what that is, but we said it's the title that we bestow upon people that are doing good things for boxing or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, right? And then so he says, well, can I fight for that? And they say, no, you can't, right? It's not transferable, but next white boy wanted to get it with Lomachenko. All of a sudden, it's transferable as hell. Lomachenko had to give it up to Teofimo Lopez, non-black fighter. Yeah, okay. So we supposed to act like we don't see that? So that's what happened with Jamal Charlo. Jamel, on the other hand, has been able to handle his business. He was handle his business and become undisputed in the super welterweight division. And there's a lot of blacks down there. So, you know, it don't matter if he fights Harrison. Don't matter if he fights J-Rock, or don't matter if he fights, Lubin and all that. Don't matter, because it's like, hey, well, whatever, you know, cancel themselves out, right? I was surprised they let him fight Castaño twice for undisputed, but at least it happened. So it's not so much going with Jamel. So let's go to Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is now finally getting his props. Finally. They didn't give him Pacquiao all them years, said that he couldn't get fights, you know, he never fought anybody, right? Became undisputed, fought everybody on the way up. He was the baddest one at 135 pounds. Everybody knows it when he left lightweight division. Goes up to 140 pounds, becomes undisputed, and they act like it was nothing, even though he went to Ricky Burns, got the title over there. He's beaten everybody. Ulyss Ndungo goes over there, gets 2 titles, comes to and becomes try to go to Nebraska and become undisputed. It just did not happen because he was messing with Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford becomes undisputed, plus beats Victor Postal, who was all that in a bag of chips. And they keep saying he don't want to fight nobody. And then Manny Pacquiao is scared to death. The pundits are scared for Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao's team is scared, and everybody on the planet doesn't want Manny Pacquiao to fight this guy. Manny Pacquiao can fight anybody in the world. Manny Pacquiao's never been afraid of anybody, right? Except Floyd Mayweather, undoped. Well, that's what we know, because he wasn't going to fight him for $40 million, but we're taking a dope test. And this Terrence Crawford. But not only Manny Pacquiao, everybody. Freddie Roach, Bob Arum, Stephen A. Smith, Teddy Atlas, all of them was like, don't mess with Terrence Crawford. He's too awesome. That's how Crawford's going through, right? There. Now you go down to Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux beating everybody but at the lowest division. Lomachenko up there. Oh, by the way, speaking of Lomachenko, before I even say the Rigondeaux, Lomachenko was only 2 divisions under Terrence Crawford. They said, would you have to go up to fight Terrence Crawford? You know what his answer was? That's suicide. So Lomachenko thinks it's suicide to go up 2 divisions to fight him, right? Manny Pacquiao is a division over him, and they don't want him to fight him. Just how awesome Terrence Crawford is. So you can just fathom that, recognize. Now, Rigondeaux, you know, also a 2-time Olympian, only lost about 12 fights as an amateur, won 350 fights or something like that. Come up there and dominate all the lower divisions. right? Can't get no fight. Beats Nonito Donaire when Nonito Donaire was about 33-1, and he's lost his first or second fight. So he's about 30 fight winning streak, was number 3 on pound list, and gets whitewashed by a smaller fighter in Guillermo Rigondeaux. What do? Rigondeaux's boring, that's what we say, and blackball the guy. Barely put him in the pound for pound, right? Just beat pound for pound number 3, beat the brakes off of him, smaller. So he's, nobody's can't get no fights down there really, right? Then he goes up from 118 pounds. They say 122, but it's really 118. From 118 pounds to 130 to fight Lomachenko. And no one said, Lomachenko, would you come down to 126 and meet him halfway? You just left 126. No, he had to go all the way up to 130. So they fight because he wanted to take that fight and dare to be great. What happens? Hurts his hand, his left hand, and then he stops in round 6. And people are like, hey, you should have fought. First of all, Lomachenko should have brought his ass down to 126 so we could at least be, meet a little bit. That ain't even halfway, right? Nobody wants him to do that. None of that. So he's supposed to just fight a real big, skilled guy, the most skilled in history, and do what Lomachenko didn't want to do with Terrence Crawford. Remember, Lomachenko said it's suicide to do that with Terrence Crawford. You see what I mean? But at the same time, Rigondeaux comes up, and then he's supposed to fight with one hand. Negro Leagues. So those are some of the Negro League fighters and some of the reasons why I call them that. Right? Now, it's a different league. Now look at who's getting the big fights. Isaac Cruz, right now. Isaac Cruz, a middleweight Mexican guy, right? What does he do? They tell him he's got to fight Shakur Stevenson. First of all, you lost to Gervonta Davis with one hand, but you made a good account of yourself. So they say, okay, you can get another fight with him. Here's an eliminator against Shakur Stevenson. He says, no, fight someone else, and now he's going to still get the Gervonta Davis fight, probably. William Cepeda said no to Shakur Stevenson. He will be getting a big fight soon coming here. Jose Ramirez, right, was supposed to fight Regis Prograis. Said no, he gonna fight, I forget the brother, Richard Comey or something, and I guarantee you he's gonna get a big fight soon, right? That's what's going on. Now, the leader of it, Canelo Alvarez, was Demetrius Andrade's mandatory at 154 pounds, did not have to do it. And not only does he, they say nothing about it, they call him better than the guy he doesn't want to fight, right? He goes up to 160, could fight Demetrius Andrade for undisputed. No one says anything about it, lets him tell everybody he's daring to be great by fighting Kovalev, who didn't look good lately, right? That's what's up. Jaime Munguia, the mandatory for your boy Demetrius Andrade for 2 years at 160 pounds. Doesn't have to do it. Every big fight out there, though, he can call Gennady Golovkin, who isn't a WBO fighter, but okay, he calls him out. He might get that fight. Who else? David Benavidez at 168 wants to fight him. He's going to get that fight. Now Canelo is thinking about it. You see? These people don't have to take hard fights, and the media doesn't get on them about it, and then they bypass the ones that they don't want to fight, which happens to look like me a little bit. It is what it is. And then they go on to be something. Instead of the media saying, y'all ain't getting nothing till you fight somebody hard like you're supposed to. But because boxing's not regulated, we're letting people just be able to do stuff to people of color, right? And just, it is what it is. We just can do it because it's not regulated. It's like, damn it, you wait your turn. If you don't fight, you're a mandatory for somebody, it should have happened to Canelo first. You're Demetrius Andrade's mandatory. You don't take the fight, we're not going to penalize him. You take your ass down 5 ranks, and the next one comes up then, and we're going to say and tell the world that you didn't do it. Therefore, when you keep doing that, then you won't become the best boxer in the face of boxing and all that crap. A face of boxing should not have people in his division who we won't fight. And that goes not only for Canelo, that goes for Gervonta Tank Davis as well. We call him the face of boxing because he got some pay-per-views against Ryan Garcia. So, dude, in your own division, there's an undisputed guy, Devin Haney. In your own division, there was Lomachenko, the best ever. In your own division, there's Shakur Stevenson, who is the boogeyman. There shouldn't be a face of boxing in a division where somebody else is called the boogeyman. Somebody else is called undisputed. Somebody else is called the best boxer. How did the face of boxing be behind all those guys? Right? Because popular. No, you're just popular. That's the word. We have a word for it already. Right? We don't need to stop putting boxing in that. I could get around tough fights and become the face of boxing. That just shows what kind of fans boxing have. Right? You know, it's like, okay, I understand, you know, the Los Angeles Raiders and stuff. Everybody likes their paraphernalia and stuff. Even Los Angeles, Oakland, wherever, Las Vegas, you gonna like that silver and black. They ain't winning nothing, though. It's cool, though. I'm gonna put it on, you know, because it looks cool. But you ain't winning nothing. Gervonta Tank Davis, I don't even know what fight's been significant. It's been cool and entertainment. If it's Rolly, that's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? That was cool. You know, Ryan Garcia, because they talk smack a little bit. And Ryan Garcia is some kind of internet dude or whatever. But significant? Loma, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. And they ain't just got there. They've been there forever. Devin Haney's got to leave at 140. Gervonta Tank Davis ain't going up to 140 to fight him. He just did it with Barrios. He's a regular champion up there. He's a regular champion. We're regular champions. Face of boxing should not have no damn regular champions on it. I don't care. We call the people that are the face of boxing popular. If it's Gervonta Davis or if it's Canelo Alvarez, you're popular. Right? That's what it is. Not no damn face of boxing just because, you know, who knows why people are coming to see the fights. By Gervonta Davis, black people are supporting them. And that's what that's the only thing that I find good about it. I didn't think it was possible for a black fighter to actually be able to not fight hard fights and become so popular. But Gervonta Davis shows that it's possible because Floyd Mayweather is handling his business and PBC's handling their business, Al Heyman handling their damn business. And it's working. That's the only good thing about it. That, oh, damn, a black fighter can do some of that shenanigans stuff too and get away with it. That's the only thing I think is good about it because I didn't think it was possible. Other than that, no. You're not the face of boxing. The damn face of boxing is Terrence Crawford. He's the one that's doing the baddest thing, right? That's what it is. So at the end of the day, those are the Negro League fighters. Deontay Wilder ain't getting no Anthony Joshua fight, right? And we are where we are in the world of boxing. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.